Hey guys, for all the DBs out there, one thing you really need to understand if you're in man coverage is levels. All right, levels is going to help you be able to jump certain routes or get a key and a code on what the receiver might be running. So when we talk about levels, we're talking in terms of distance. So 5 yards to me is the first cutoff. If a receiver climbs past 5 yards, we're going to eliminate these first three. So the first three meaning we're going to have an under route, we're going to have a slant, we're going to have a 5 yard out. So if a receiver runs past 5, we're going to eliminate these three. And essentially what we would turn into is we're going to just get rid of these here. And now all of a sudden you're just down to these top routes up here, which is going to be, right at 10 yards would be your next cutoff, right? So that's going to be the dig. That's going to be the 10-yard out, going basically an outer and in going either way. You could have a curl, all right, could have like an outside, curl come back here. But if once they cross past 10, then you're going to eliminate these routes right here. That's when you get into your post, your fade, and your corner, okay? And basically once you're climbing into that 15 range, if they don't make a break either way, all right, then they're not going to be running that comeback, and they're just going to be running that fade. So at each of these three levels, guys, basically you start out with, roughly like 10 to 12 different routes the receiver can run. And once they cross each of those levels, it's going to cut down on what the receiver has the capability of running. But if we just started out and if the receiver doesn't make it past 5 yards, so if we just start and we go back to here, okay? So if we just go back basic and we say this is the 5 yards, then if they don't make it past that, then it's either going to be, under, slant, or 5 yard out. So when you're playing man coverage, if you're playing at 7 yards, you don't need to move past 7 yards until they cross that 5 yard path. All right, so we're going to watch a play here. This is DaRon Bland. All right, this is playing in full speed. This is DaRon Bland's third pick six of the season, which is crazy. All right, that's not something you normally see from cornerbacks. Yeah, maybe they have high interceptions, they get targeted a lot, but you don't normally see, 3 pick sixes. It's pretty impressive. But let's look at exactly why this happened. So when we look at it from this side, all right, we're going to see DaRon Bland. He's going to be in man coverage on Cooper Kupp. He's sitting at 7 yards. This was a first down and 10. If we go all the way back to the beginning, all right, we're looking at first down and 10. All right, and first down and 10, he is going to be sitting just off screen here, right about the 27, 28 yard line. Okay, so when we go in down through here, all right, and we watch this, what you're going to see is he's going to stop and he's going to set his heels right here. All right, so he's stopping and setting his heels. All right, and he's waiting for Cooper Kupp to make his move. Cooper Kupp, an incredible route runner, just on this play, not so good. So he comes out and he does a stutter step, and he raises his chest right here, kind of goes to a stutter. So DaRon Bland, what he's sitting on right now is okay. He hasn't made it to 5 yards yet because 5 yards would be at the 30-yard line. He hasn't made it to 5 yards. So here's my options: an under, a slant, or a 5 yard out. Okay, and now because he sees him raise up and he sees this foot start to open out, he sees this leg starting to go in this direction, all this hip action's going here, he now knows that he's running a 5 yard out. So we can see right on that first step, right now he's starting to break downhill, and he knows if it's going to be a 5 yard out, as he breaks and goes down, he wants to try and cut at a sharper angle. So Cooper Kupp's going to want to break 90 towards the sideline. He wants to break at more of a 45 to come down in front of this. Does a great job of that. It wasn't a great throw, but he's able to pick that off. All right, so that's kind of what you want to look for in a DB is he doesn't need to. You'd see a lot of other guys start to kind of skate out and move back. There's no reason to if they haven't reached that limit. Now, if they reach that 5 yards, then all of a sudden you want to open up. But it's just those one of the key techniques, guys, especially if you're in man coverage. Use the levels and trust your instincts. Okay, if you use those levels and trust your instincts, it's going to make it a lot easier for you out there in man coverage.